From inventing his own brand of martial arts to mastering multiple weapons for the role, Keanu Reeves has actually put his body and soul into John Wick, and he admits that training for it hasn't been easy. I mean, the guy's 58 now and does almost all of his action scenes himself. Even he admitted that he's slowing down a little due to the years, but he's always been ready to jump into the character as soon as the director says action. To truly embody Baba Yaga, Keanu learned multiple forms of martial arts. This included judo, Japanese jiu-jitsu, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And you can see Wick pulling off some of the sickest techniques of these disciplines. No, it's not a stunt double. Keanu's doing it all himself. Talk about commitment, guys. He trains under the Machado brothers and Jonathan Eusebio, who are well-known martial artists and respected stunt choreographers. And that's not all. Some of the skills he showed off in the movies were extremely well received by the martial arts community, and Reeves was even awarded an honorary black belt by the International Judo Federation. That's a big deal for an actor if you ask me. How many guys in Hollywood can you name that are even willing to get their hands dirty? But Keanu's commitment doesn't stop there, cause he was also trained to use firearms by none other than Teron Butler, who was a former competitive shooter and is now one of the best firearms instructors in the world. On top of that, Reeves also had some help from Sean Ryan, who's a former Navy SEAL. The 58-year-old actor underwent a 4-month training regime, 5 days a week and 8 hours a day. It really takes all of that to bring Baba Yaga to life, and let me make this really clear to you guys. Keanu mastered firearms. He doesn't just know how to shoot the weapon, he knows it inside out. How to reload, how to draw, and how to switch between them in active combat. No wonder the action sequences in the movie look so realistic. Chad Stahelski and Reeves really made sure that this John Wick wasn't just another action series, and it was only a matter of time before Keanu became really comfortable with guns. To top it all off, he put those skills together with his martial arts, which gave fans the gun jitsu or gun fu, whatever you prefer calling it.
Hit me! God damn it! Yeah!
I mean, there are countless scenes in the series where he demonstrated this. Take the first action sequence, for example, when Viggo's men are raiding his house in John Wick 1. The judo throws and jiu-jitsu locks into headshots were just insane, and the most beautiful parts, how he transitioned from enemy to enemy, taking them out almost effortlessly while keeping count of his ammunition as well. How many times have you seen action sequences like that in movies? And that's why John Wick's special, and so is Keanu, cause it takes a man of focus, commitment, and sheer willpower to pull it off so flawlessly. He even had Halle Berry training with him in firearms for Parabellum. But the fun doesn't end there either, because Keanu also learned how to drive for the movie. Of course, he knew how to drive cars and ride motorbikes before. I mean, he's a two-wheeler enthusiast after all. But stunt driving's all too different, and he ended up learning all of that as well. You all probably remember the stick driving John does in the first movie when he was chasing down Viggo, or fighting off multiple attackers on motorbikes, or riding that horse through the streets of New York while getting shot at. Well, that was all Keanu. No stuntman, no body double. This man's committed to the role no matter what. Obviously, he leaves some of the more dangerous stuff to the professionals, but I'm really impressed that he actually tries doing most of it himself.
The latest in ballistic chic, appropriate for all formal occasions, weddings, funerals, high-table duels. After all, a man has to look his best when it's time to get married. Or buried.
I know it isn't as extreme as Tom Cruise learning how to fly a fighter jet, it's still amazing nonetheless. Besides all the training, Keanu also knows the importance of staying healthy. That's why he makes it a point to take care of his body. I know, guys, he isn't all buffed up for John Wick. Come to think of it, when have you ever seen him buffed? But that doesn't mean he isn't mindful of what he eats. He isn't extremely strict about his diet and his normal routine. He just tries to avoid overeating any particular thing. Keanu Keanu revealed to Men's Journal that he has a lot of chicken, rice, pasta, and vegetables, and that he prefers smaller meals throughout the day rather than a few large ones. But as soon as he's working as John Wick, he becomes a little more strict, adopting a low-sodium, low-fat diet, balancing the proteins and carbohydrates, and having healthy fats. Occasionally, he might have a glass of wine or some beer to relax, but for the most part, he avoids that too. Hollywood's sweetheart has one odd quirk in his diet though. When he started filming The Matrix, he'd have a nice steak the night before filming a major action scene, and since then he has stuck with that tradition, admitting that it really works. But of course, his diet is always accompanied by a decent workout, and it serves two purposes. The first one's that John Wick doesn't really need bulging muscles, so the workout tailored for Baba Yaga's unique, no-nonsense fighting style, as he needs to be more efficient than powerful. Secondly, Keanu, almost being 60 now, needs exercises to strengthen his joints and core muscles. That can work together to give him the function he needs. Reeves' trainer, Patrick Murphy, revealed that Jonathan's workout mostly uses resistance bands instead of weights. They're easier on the joints, and they aid the body in learning more control. While talking to Muscle and Fitness, Murphy said that they mostly focus on exercises that enhance proprioception. That refers to the body's ability to sense what other parts are doing, and this helps give Wick a much better balance. These exercises also help him with executing better techniques in judo and jiu-jitsu, as balance is one of the most important aspects of these martial arts. No wonder John's able to do what he does so effortlessly, because all of his training's focused on making his trade into an art form. But that's not all. Keanu's become so good with his moves that he's even helping out others. Remember Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde? Does her fighting style in the movie ring a bell now? Cause she was trained by Baba Yaga himself. The film was directed by David Leitch, who was the co-director of John Wick as well. So he decided to bring the two actors together. Theron said in an interview that Keanu helped her train for the role, and the two of them would often engage in a friendly banter while they were going at it. But despite that, she knew that the Matrix superstar was only entertaining her in good nature, cause he was way more skilled at this stuff than her. That sounds about right. Keanu, being who he is extremely humble and supportive of people around him, so it's really hard to not believe Theron for what she said about him. I don't know if you guys heard, but there was an incident a few years ago when an airplane had to make an emergency landing and Keanu was also on the flight. The 58-year-old accompanied the rest of the passengers on a long drive to their destination in a bus. He got hold of the PA system and started narrating the trip to everyone. Keanu was reading out facts about the area they were passing through and playing local music, basically acting like a cute, dorky dad you'd see in a movie. No wonder he's loved so much.
Is this a formal event or a social affair?
Social.
And is this for day or evening?
I need one for day and one for night.
That's it for how Keanu prepares for his role as John Wick.